Hey, how's it going, everybody? We are in Princeton, Minnesota, working on this John Deere 9510 RT and this 9570 RX. So both these tractors are getting ceramic coated on all the hood, the headlights, the side pieces, fuel tanks, the glass, the roof, all that fun stuff. So what I wanted to show you here before we get started is this tractor was actually just waxed in the fall. And you can see just how dull and faded all of that is there. So that just proves to you, wax doesn't work on single stage. Granted, I will say the sides though do look good for being waxed. Could definitely look better in areas like this, but you can only do so much with so many tools. Obviously, being a farmer, not a detailer, I wouldn't expect them to have the proper tools to get in all those little areas. And then roof looks great on this one. What's crazy though is that they think that this tractor, this 9570 RX, has never been shedded, because this tractor is 5 years older. And if you look at the state of the paint or the condition of it versus that one, pretty clear difference. So, but yeah, we're gonna get started here on working on the hood. Okay, just showing you guys here what we're working with. And so you just no, hardly any reflection at all. I mean, it's just dull. Dull as can be. Okay, so as you guys just saw here, we got the top of the hood all cut. We had to do everything twice and we still got to polish it all up. Now we're gonna start working on the sides, but while we're working on that, I'm gonna go ahead and plug the GoPro in because I forgot to bring my spare batteries. But otherwise, yeah, this thing is churning out great. I mean, that finish is, for not even being polished or coated yet, it looks great. And we're actually using a new to us, well, I guess it is new on the market too, because it only came out a month ago. New product, DIY Gold Standard Compound is now going to be our go-to compound because it doesn't have any fillers, oils, that sort of stuff are very minimal. And then we're also using their pad here, which works great on the single stage paint stuff. And as far as I could tell when wiping it down with prep and a few little test spots, it has no fillers or anything like that, which is great. And we're gonna go through and then polish it all up and coat it with C6 Agro. And okay, well, I didn't realize I left you guys on the charger there for the last 6 hours on my big fast rapid charger thing.
Power at 400% capacity.
How about that?
Anyway, so on the entire hood here, it's all cut, polished. Obviously just left the polish on there because we forgot some plastic razor blades to take that sticker off. So we're not even gonna worry about the hood. Otherwise, we got the catwalk here all prepped, coated. I mean, you just see the gloss that coating adds. And now we're working around the cab. I just got done with the roof. So now we're gonna go through and start prepping everything else. And then got the frame rail done on this side and the other. Just gotta clean a few other things up there. But yeah, she's coming together. Okay, so now that I got that sticker pulled off on both sides, and this whole hood has been cut twice, polished down, we are going to go through and prep it. This is just a prep solution to make sure that none of the polishing oils, residue, anything like that is left on the surface to ensure proper coating adhesion. So all we do is simply spray some prep in a towel, wipe it on, and buff off to a finish like that. So the nice thing too about this prep solution is you are able to spray it on a little bit, like a fine mist in a way. So let it sit for a few seconds while you get the towel loaded up. Like I said, all we're doing is essentially spreading it around and buffing it to a nice clean finish here. It's all about just staying organized. As far as for a prep solution, I mean, this is nothing fancy. It's just a acetone Windex mixture. Now the whole hood is prepped and ready to be coated. Okay, so now that this plastic tank here is all prepped, take my coating, spread a little bit around on the applicator. We're just gonna go through and apply.
The next day.
Okay, it is the next day. Been on the phone pretty much all morning and trying to work on the 9570RX business owner stuff. But anyway, what I want to show you though is this guy's been sitting over, I mean, you can see the reflection here. And then we ended up finishing, we did that mirror, we forgot to do that last night, and the air intake on this side. So we got that all finished up here this morning real quick. And now we're working on this guy. So Matt already has this side, first round of cut. This thing's gonna need 2 layers of cut, but to kind of show you what we were working with, the other side was way worse. We can see all that dull scratch and then come down to here. And then I'm working on these back fenders here that I'll show you in a minute. I don't think he did the whole top. We'll go take a look here, see if we can get a nice-ish 50-50. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a really nice difference there. And you can barely even make out the shape of the light on that side. And then otherwise, I am just working on these back fenders over here in my nice little corner, because it's also where I get cell phone service. So this one is all cut, still needs to be polished, prepped, coated, but it's just gonna get a little bit glossier here by the time I coat it versus this side over here. So what I'll probably do here is put you guys on a time lapse and start going through it. The other thing I forgot to mention too here is what all we are using. So we are starting to switch things up a little bit. Still using, you know, polishers, stuff like that. This on that tractor, and then on these rear fenders, I'm using the new DIY Gold Standard Compound and their new wool rotary pad, which is by far the best rotary pad that I have found so far for this. A lot of these wool pads we can get about 1 tractor out of, and so far I did that whole tractor and this fender with this pad with no degradation in terms of like the wool wanting to fall off and stuff like that. So really, really happy with these. And then this tractor we actually ceramic coated with new C6 Agro coating, which is not a new coating, but like a new coating for us. We were having issues with the previous coating on vehicles and some other things, and then I just decided, you know what, let's just switch over to this new coating, but it's formulated on an old technology that we know works very well in terms of, you know, what the coating is made out of, the properties and stuff. But more on that later. So otherwise, yeah, I'll go ahead and throw you guys on a time lapse and let's polish this fender.
The next day.
Okay, well, it's Friday. I don't know if I need to do this every morning, but didn't record a whole lot yesterday. I think I might have gotten the rear fenders, and then you guys saw the time lapse of me ceramic coating the roof. I polished it all out as good as it's gonna get. Roofs need to be good, not great. Mainly worried about the sides and then the flat areas, the cracks. You can only get in so much, and the paint's usually so thin on them anyways that you risk burning through the paint, and I don't want to do that. So, but anyway, yesterday Matt got this hood all cut. He had to cut it twice, and now it's all polished up. He's working on the sides here, and then we just have the cab. Yeah, just look how good these rear fenders look now, and then this tank. I mean, it's like brand new now. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go through and remove all the polish here. As you can see, just stupid shiny. You can actually see my reflection here. Can see the individual lines of the tin in the reflection. I mean, this thing just looks great. And then this thing, I don't know how to really put it, but it's almost like whenever we coat something and we leave it sit overnight and we come back the next morning, like the gloss just amplifies by 100. I mean, even the ceiling has a green reflection to it because of just the sheer gloss of this, or the reflection on it. But yeah, this sucker looks fantastic. So now I gotta go ahead and go do that hood. Okay, so this whole entire hood here now is all prepped using our acetone Windex mix, and now we're gonna take our coating here and apply it to the surface, let it sit cross-link, and then level it off here using this is basically our first towel. This is gonna remove 90% of it, and then this one's gonna remove the last 10% of it, basically an insurance towel. So, having a auto fiber thin saver applicator right here, I'm gonna go ahead, take the coating bottle, and to prime it, I like to do just a line down the center, or a few, like that. Put the cap back on the bottle. Normally we don't carry, 100 ml bottles like this, because if it breaks, you're out the whole bottle. But we don't have any of these smaller 15 milliliter bottles. So then rub it around a little bit. Gonna come to the surface. I always like doing a puddle line across the area I am gonna coat. And it's just spreading it out evenly like this. And flash time for this coating is right at about a minute or two, give or take. And then every time I do the next section, I just pour a little bit more on here. It is gonna take a few sections for this applicator to even really get truly primed, and that's when I'll really notice that the coating can go very, very far. So then I'll look to see where I stopped, which is right about there. And every time I'm going over that puddle line, I'm picking up more coating, because there is a significant amount of coating right where that applicator went down for the first time on the paint. And then the nice thing too is, now that I'm up to here to this vent, I know that is where I stopped. Come back, and now I'll do this lower rib piece and maybe the sticker, It's all about just staying organized. The only nice thing too is that coatings don't really care whether you do crosshatch, straight lines, circles, triangles, hexagons. As long as it goes on the surface even, that's all that matters. I'm just gonna make sure I get in that rib. Okay. Now that from basically here to here and here up is done, I can probably start leveling off here. So, go ahead and take my green towel here. Look for any high spots. There aren't any. And then just as a safety precaution, take my Eagle 350 here and go over it one last time as an insurance policy, because this lets me sleep good at night knowing I did this step with a towel. And there we go. Now we just got to do that on the rest of the hood. And just like that, these two tractors here are now protected for years to come. Never having to be waxed. Plastic tanks here look like they just came off a parts bin shelf on both of these, especially this large one here in this 9RX. It was a little dull and faded, but now it's looking proper. The only thing that sucks though is that on these 9000 series, these rear plastic corner pieces, I mean, every single one of them are like that. A different manufacturing process, I believe it's called MPreg. Just a different, to my knowledge, that's where it's just an injection mold, plastic goes in it, super hot, and comes out like that. Same thing with the combines here, that piece, and then those two corner pieces there on the cab. That one, manufactured the same way, so you can't really polish them much. I mean, you can get them to shine, but you can't get that color, that richness back, unfortunately, because I believe the color is in the plastic versus painted on the plastic. But anyway, so yeah, so on this 9570 RX, went ahead, coated all the cab corner trims, the lights, the exhaust stack, the mirror, that little base plate, the entire hood, a little bit of what is exposed to the frame rail there around the chin. And then on 9RXs, we always do this flat piece just because it's just a quick prep coat. Light, this is an EGR cover, exhaust cover, whatever you want to call it, regen cover. And yeah, I mean, you can see it's blinding here. Fuel tank is done. That bar is done. Around the cab, glass windows, handlebar, mirrors, beacons. These lights back here. Oh, I forgot to put this one down. I'm such an amateur. Yeah, and then on this tractor, fuel tank, rear access panel, glass, cab corners, roof, all that fun stuff. And then around here, on 9RXs, we take a 13mm socket, pop these bolts off, take the ladder off, polish all behind it as good as we can get. Obviously, there's some boot scuff here, stuff like that. This one tractor did make me realize, though, I need to start packing paint protection film because I could apply it over the top of that and get rid of all of it. And then in 2 or 3 years, once the PPF gets scuffed up from the boots, pop the ladder back off, rip it off, come out here, put a new piece on. So, and it would be very easy to install it, that's for sure, because it's just flat, no curvature, which is what makes PPF difficult. But anyway, yeah, so this tractor still needs to kind of set, or the coating needs to still set up here on this one, but you guys remember just how bad the condition of the paint was here, and then obviously on the top of the hood. And yeah, you can just see it is crazy shiny. I mean, even the ceiling there is a little bit green from the reflection. Yeah, and the main reason why you would want to even ceramic coat a piece of equipment like this is, well, biggest thing is resale value. But then the other nice thing too is you don't have to wax it again. It's protected from everything. And the other thing too is, so take these plastic tanks for example, right? You can't wax these, nor would you even want to. And yet once we coat them, they still clean up super easy. And same thing with the paint here. I mean, it literally just falls right off. I don't know of any wax that'd be able to do that for years. And the other nice thing too is the frame rails. Same situation. But anyway, so that's gonna do it for this job, guys. Appreciate you watching. If you could like, comment, subscribe, share the video around, and if you are interested in getting your equipment done, we service all throughout Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and a little bit into Missouri. It'd have to be a pretty big job for us to get down back to Missouri. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. We will see you guys next time. Thanks.